A great steakhouse should offer a seamless, enjoyable experience from start to finish. There's nothing worse than walking out feeling let down. Watch out for these red flags to ensure your meal doesn't end in disappointment. When you walk into a high-quality steakhouse, the first thing you'll notice is its cleanliness. The tables are spotless, the bar isn't sticky, and the windows gleam. A well-maintained, clean atmosphere is a major indicator of a restaurant's standards. But if you walk into a place and the surfaces are sticky or grimy, it's time to reconsider. Restaurants should be actively cleaning and sanitizing throughout the day, ensuring every surface stays pristine. Now, let's talk about the bathrooms. They're one of the few places customers see firsthand. If the restroom is dirty or poorly maintained, imagine what the areas you can't see, like the kitchen, stockroom, or behind the bar, look like. If a restaurant can't keep the bathroom clean, it's a red flag that their attention to hygiene elsewhere might be lacking too. A clean restaurant is a reflection of the care they put into every aspect of their business. If hygiene isn't a priority, you can bet that germs and bacteria are likely making their way onto your plate and into your drink. Cleanliness, from the dining area to the kitchen, is key to providing a safe and enjoyable dining experience. When you're splurging on a pricey steakhouse meal, you expect knowledgeable service. If your server can't answer simple menu questions or responds with uncertainty, it's a major red flag. A professional server should be well-versed in the menu and confident in their recommendations. Anything less, and it's time to reconsider your dining choice.
What does steak mean?
Pardon?
What does steak mean?
This is steak.
In a top-tier steakhouse, your server should act as a knowledgeable guide, explaining the menu and making suggestions without being intrusive. If you're unfamiliar with a dish or ingredient, they should be able to explain it clearly and without judgment. At the very least, if they're unsure about something, a good server will gracefully admit it and seek out someone who can provide the answer. Their main goal should always be your satisfaction and ensuring you have a seamless, enjoyable dining experience. We all know mistakes happen, whether it's a mix-up with your order, a miscommunication with the bartender, or a dish that's not up to par. Things don't always go as planned. But the true test of a great steakhouse is how they handle these slip-ups. Do they get defensive and brush it off? Or do they take responsibility and genuinely apologize? A good restaurant will own the mistake, explain what went wrong, and let you know how they'll make things right. They might offer a free drink, a comped meal, or a gift card for your troubles. If a manager refuses to address the issue or doesn't go the extra mile to fix things, it's probably a sign to take your business elsewhere. The best steakhouse owners know that customer satisfaction is everything, and they'll do whatever it takes to make it right. Sometimes it's the little gestures, like offering a free appetizer or drink while you wait, that make a huge difference in a guest's experience. A restaurant's reputation is its lifeblood, and how they handle problems speaks volumes about the overall quality of the place. Steakhouse sides have long stuck to the same old lineup: baked potatoes, Caesar salads, French onion soup, and maybe some green beans. While that classic combo works for some, it doesn't have to be the only option. A great steakhouse is defined by its ability to innovate, especially when it comes to side dishes. You'll still find those familiar favorites, but a talented chef will offer something more creative and exciting. Why settle for the usual when you could enjoy a fresh, locally sourced vegetable dish or an unexpected flavor pairing that complements your steak perfectly? With farms and restaurants collaborating more than ever, there's no reason to stick with tired sides. Instead, let the sides elevate the experience, adding variety and flavor that make your meal even more memorable. It's all about turning the side dish from an afterthought into an integral part of the dining experience. There's nothing more frustrating than walking into a steakhouse, stomach growling, only to sit there waiting forever for a server to take your order. While this doesn't happen often, when it does, it's usually a sign that something's off with the restaurant's service. Why does this matter? Because the core responsibility of restaurant staff, from servers to managers, is to keep guests happy. If you're left hanging, it likely means the communication between the host who seated you and the waitstaff who's supposed to take care of you has fallen apart. It's even worse when your server walks by without acknowledging you. Or worse, seems distracted and unaware of the needs at your table. If they can't manage basic attentiveness, it makes you wonder how well they're handling other details. If you're stuck waiting too long for drinks or food, don't hesitate to get up, head to the bar, and settle your tab. If you're feeling bold, let the manager know on your way out. A good restaurant should never leave you feeling ignored or frustrated, and they need to hear when something goes wrong. Once your server has delivered drinks, appetizers, and bread, they'll move on to taking your main course order. If you've chosen a steak, expect them to ask the familiar question: how would you like your steak cooked?
Prepared? Oh, you mean cooked?
Yes, sir. Cooked is most definitely what I should have said. Do excuse me, please.
If you order your steak medium rare and it arrives well done, or the other way around, that's a big warning sign. A top-notch steakhouse should be able to cook your steak exactly as you request. While the quality of the cut matters, getting the cooking right is crucial. A skilled chef should be able to nail your preferred doneness every time, no exceptions. If your steak doesn't match your request, don't be afraid to send it back. And if this happens frequently, it might be time to try a different place next time.
Wait, did that waitress listen to a word I said? This steak is medium rare. I asked for it medium.
A great steakhouse should have a sommelier, a wine expert who can guide you on the perfect pairing to complement your meal. If they don't have one on hand, at the very least, the staff should be trained to make solid wine recommendations. Sommeliers undergo extensive training and certification to understand the complexities of wine and food pairings, and their advice isn't about upselling, it's about enhancing your dining experience. The right wine can elevate the flavors, aromas, and overall enjoyment of your meal, making it well worth the investment. While not having a sommelier isn't a deal breaker, it might not be the ideal spot for impressing a special guest or celebrating a big occasion. The state of a restaurant, whether it's bustling with customers or eerily empty, can reveal a lot about its reputation. When a steakhouse is packed, we often assume it's a sign of great food and service. Conversely, if a place is quiet, we might assume it's not worth our time. There's a psychological reason for this, the concept of social proof. Essentially, we are influenced by the actions of others. When we see a crowded steakhouse, our brains interpret it as validation that the food is good, the atmosphere is inviting, and the value is right. This social behavior drives us to follow the crowd because it offers reassurance about the choices we're making. On the flip side, an empty steakhouse can trigger doubts, leading us to wonder what others know that we don't. Social proof guides many of our dining decisions without us even realizing it. It's well known that many restaurants tend to go overboard with salt. In fact, experts from the American Heart Association have pointed out that dining out is a major contributor to excessive salt intake across all types of cuisines and dining experiences. When you're enjoying a meal at a steakhouse, though, it's essential to pay attention to the seasoning. A skilled chef knows how to balance salt just right, enough to enhance the natural flavor of the steak without overpowering it. If the steak is overly salty, it might suggest the meat isn't top-notch, or that the chef didn't put much effort into seasoning it properly. Either way, if you leave the restaurant feeling thirsty or dehydrated, it's worth reconsidering whether that spot deserves a return visit. A good steak should speak for itself, and the seasoning should complement, not mask, the quality of the meat.
You see that color? You see how the pepper works, Carlo, huh?
I am afraid, Signor Marco.
Do not be afraid of the pepper.
If you're handed glasses or plates with food residue or streaks, it's a major red flag. Beyond being off-putting, dirty dishes can signal bigger issues. It could mean a malfunctioning dishwasher that the restaurant can't afford to repair, or a lack of attention to detail. Worse, it might indicate the restaurant isn't adhering to basic health and safety standards. Either way, it's a sign that this place might not be as clean or reliable as it should be. When you visit a steakhouse, you're likely looking to relax and enjoy a few drinks along with your meal. But nothing spoils the experience faster than placing a drink order, only to be told the bartender doesn't know how to make it. This is a major red flag, signaling a lack of training and professionalism from the staff. A top-tier steakhouse should have skilled bartenders who can craft your favorite cocktail with confidence. While it's understandable if you order something obscure, a competent bartender should be able to handle most requests, or quickly figure out how to make them. If your drink order causes confusion, it's probably time to reconsider whether this restaurant is up to par. Steakhouses can sometimes feel a little out of touch, especially for younger diners. While they're beloved by older generations, the lack of a fresh, inventive approach to the menu can make them seem a bit stodgy. Classic dishes can become predictable, too salty, or overdone, with little attention to lighter options or fresh vegetables. But it's not just the food that can make a steakhouse feel outdated, it's the decor, too. A stale atmosphere can seriously affect the overall dining experience, especially when you're out celebrating something special. A modern, thoughtfully designed space sends the message that the restaurant is evolving and cares about creating a comfortable, welcoming environment. After all, we eat with our eyes first, and if the surroundings feel tired, it can detract from the meal.